ready. Today you're going to need a belt and a couple of blocks. If you want to sit on a blanket, you can certainly do that. If you're comfortable sitting on the floor, that's fine too. And just sit with your legs crossed and interlace your fingers. Take your arms up and back and drop your chin down toward your chest. Take a few breaths here. And see that you're not pushing forward with the ribs. And release, so the ribs, you want the ribs to go back. Okay, interlace the fingers the other way. Go ahead up. Nice inhalation. Exhale, drop your chin to your chest. And straighten your elbows as much as you can. And turn the palms up toward the ceiling. Inhale, raise your head, lower your arms, and do a twist to your right, and then to your left. Come to center, switch the cross in your legs, and now interlace the fingers behind you. Roll your shoulders back. If that's not possible, to interlace your fingers with straight arms, then you would take a belt and you can hold on to the belt if the shoulders are too tight for that or just not ready for it. Okay, so I interlace my fingers, I drop the chin toward the chest again, and I'm drawing my arms back toward the window behind me. And see that your shoulders are not rolling forward and that the chest, the sternum remains lifted. And you can pump the arms a little bit, moving with the breath. And then raise your head, switch the interlace of your fingers, and repeat. Okay, so elbows nice and straight. The palms don't have to be together. So just the fingers interlaced. And I'm just pumping my arms back, keeping the chest lifted. And then release. And just do a few shoulder shrugs here. And then forward. Just to loosen up. You might hear some crackles in there. That's fairly normal. And turn to your right. And turn to your left. And come back to center. And we're going to need our belt. And unless you don't need a belt for Supta Padangusthasana, if you can easily hold your toe, you can do that. So you're going to lie down and just straighten your legs out along the floor. See that the buttocks are even on the floor and that you're laying as straight in a Supta Tadasana position. Right? So flex your feet, spread the toes, press the back of your legs down onto the floor as much as you can. You may not feel the back of the knees on the floor. There may be a little bit of space. Right? And feel how the sacrum rests on the floor. Okay, you want it to be as even as possible from right to left. And now you're going to take your belt or your toe, and we will raise the right leg up. I have the belt on the ball mound of the foot. And again, feel the sacrum on the floor. And come to an awareness of the abdomen. With each exhalation, feel how the abdomen can slightly engage. So each exhale, you are getting that, almost that spreading action. So it's a different kind of engaging in the abdomen than when we do like crunches, right? So we're not looking to, you know, tighten up and make the abdomen get higher up toward the ceiling. Rather, you want to do the opposite. So each exhalation, you're becoming more and more aware of this abdominal and pelvic region, actually. And the left leg is stretched out on the floor. The toes are spread. And now what you're going to do is when you take your leg over to the right, you have to engage the abdomen even more because we want to stay as centered as we can on the sacrum. So in other words, you're really not, and then inhale, come up again. You're really not letting gravity take over this leg. So you're not letting yourself go as much as you can so that the other leg pops up, the other buttock pops up. Okay, so Supta Padangustasana to the side. And it takes some effort to hold ourselves here, right? Because the leg is heavy. Luckily, you have your arm right now that's helping you out, but the leg is heavy. You want to roll over to the right. So we have to imagine that the abdomen is rolling from the right to the left. And press down with the left buttock and thigh and heel even more. And then inhale, come up. And we'll switch legs. So you can hold with both hands at first. That does help to keep the chest open a bit. And spread your toes. Push up into the ball mound of that left foot. Push out into the ball mound of your right foot. Be as stable as you can be on both sides of your sacrum. And it's not just both sides. You know, we're working a little bit from right to left here, but also if the hamstrings tend to be tight, your tailbone is going to want to curl up toward the head. So can you press down the whole length of the sacrum from top to bottom and see what that gives you? That might help you to engage the lower abs a little bit more. And it will help you to get more of a hamstring stretch, whether you like that or not. Okay, and then hold just with your left hand. Tell your abdomen as you take your leg out to the left that it's going to have to roll over to the right. You go ahead. I'm trying to keep a straight arm here. So don't rest your elbow on the floor. I should have said that on the other side. Sometimes we do that with this elbow here, the left one. Inhale, come up. Exhale, go to the side again. There's a little bit of movement that happens, right? There's a teeny little shift that you can allow that to happen in the pelvis, but you want to try to keep as much control as you can with the left side going over to the right. Press down the right buttock, reach out through the right foot, press the heel down, and then inhale, come up. I think we did 3 times on the other side. And we'll go again. See that your throat and neck are soft. A lot of times when we start working like this, especially when we go to the side, the head does all kinds of weird things and we end up getting too much tension in the neck. Inhale, come up. And then you're going to release. Put this belt to the side for a moment. We'll use that again. Readjust yourself into Supta Tadasana. And you can be on the pinky side of your hands here. So it's as if you're standing in Tadasana, but you're on the floor. Okay, reach out through your heels. And then bring your legs together. And you have some options here. You can either hold the sides of the mat like this, Or you can take your arms up overhead, here or here. Hopefully you can see my hands. The backs of my hands are on the floor. If that doesn't happen and you go to take your arms overhead and something like this goes on because the shoulders are tight, you would take your belt and you would just pull outward on the belt, and that will help the shoulders to stay engaged. Okay, so either hands holding the mat, which is the easiest thing to do, or arms overhead like this. And what we will do is imagine that you have belts tying the legs together from the ankles up through the knees all the way up through the hips, and we'll do Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. So my feet are together, the knees are together, and I'm bringing the knees slightly toward the chest, not so much that the sacrum moves around. Okay, so I'm still pressing down with the tailbone and the whole length of the sacrum. The knees are moving in slightly toward the chest, and then take your legs up to 90 degrees. Keep the abdomen doing that same thing that you were doing in Supta Padangustasana. So there's a spreading outward, right? Almost imagine that the abdomen is like a basin in a way. So we're working those deeper abdominal muscles. Keep reaching out through your hands. Bring the knees, bend the legs again. And then just place your feet on the floor and then extend your legs. Okay, bring the knees toward the chest, up to 90 degrees. Bend the legs toward the chest, out to 60 degrees. Legs toward the chest, just 10 inches off the floor now. If this causes you back issues, do not go this low. In toward the chest, up to 90. Keep your neck as soft as you can. In toward the chest, out to 60. In toward the chest, 10 inches from the floor. Bend in, up to 90. Okay, now you can continue doing that bent leg version. Okay, otherwise, we're going to go all the way to the floor with the legs absolutely straight. Nice inhalation, exhale down, slowly down. Okay, once your heels touch the floor, take another breath. Again, doing bent legs if you need, you do what you can here. Otherwise, inhale, come all the way up. If you keep the legs together and the toes spread, this is easier. Exhale down. Inhale up. Pay attention to what's going on in the sacrum. Exhale down. You'll feel a slight bit of movement, but you don't want the sacrum rocking up and down too much as you go. You want to keep your stability there so that the abs are working. Inhale up. So there should not be a huge arch in your back, just whatever your natural arch is. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. Keep reaching through your hands. Exhale down. And then relax. Relax your arms down. Take a brief Supta Baddha Konasana to soften in the thighs a little bit, the inner thighs. Relax your belly. Take a few recovery breaths here. And then bring your legs together. Okay, arms out to the sides. reach out into your fingertips and have your palms up for today. Straighten the elbows, and now bring your knees in toward your chest much more than before. So now you're letting the sacrum move quite a bit, and you're attempting to tuck the knees in toward the chest as much as you can. Keep the legs moving together or toward each other, even if they don't stay completely touching. Okay, so try not to let your legs flop out to the sides too much. And then you're going to bring your knees toward your right armpit. Keep pressing down with your left shoulder, Jatra Parvartanasana. Breathe. Feel the abs engage, and I'm not letting my legs go to the floor today. So we're doing this more for ab work, even though there is a twist involved. Okay, come to center. Exhale to the left. And you're tucking the knees toward that armpit as much as you can. The legs want to go flying apart. Try not to let that happen. Inhale, come up. Right side again. Keep the toes spread, the feet together. Inhale, come up. Last time, left side. Inhale, come up, and bring the feet to the floor. You may have traveled a little bit. Some of you more than others. Some of you are big travelers in that pose. You know who you are. All right, we're going to do that again, except we're going to do more of the full pose with straight legs. Now, if you have hips that are a little broad, like mine, you will want to move your butt quite a bit, right? So if you have narrow hips, you don't have to move your butt that much, okay? So just figure out who you are. And now I shifted my hips pretty far over to the left because we're going to bring the legs to the right to begin with. Okay, so now I bring the knees in toward the chest, and now I take the legs up. So you see the angle that my legs are at? So it's like I already have a trajectory going this way. All right, I inhale, bring the feet closer toward the head. Exhale, hover over your right hand. Obviously, if you cannot do this, do it with bent legs. Reach out into your left shoulder. Breathe. Try to use your abdomen, not your neck. And then bend your legs. Inhale to come up. Okay, then you have to find center. You can take a peek down like I just did. Sometimes you get a little fluey over to one side. You don't know where you are. Okay, arms out to the sides again. Now I am moving my hips over to the right. I bring my knees in toward the chest, and I have my toes pointed to where they're going to go. Nice deep inhale. Bring your feet closer toward your head. Exhale and go. Oh, try to keep your right shoulder down. Press with your left arm. Bend your legs. Inhale, come up. And then bring the feet down. Find your center. Okay. I'm going to roll up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to get a little momentum. I roll up. Hi. Maybe I'll go sideways for this. Okay, so I roll up, and then I'm going to roll right back down. Okay, so this is almost like a little Pilates move. You can have your hands here and roll down. Bring the legs up, roll up. Try to stay in boat pose. And roll down. Okay, take the arms overhead. My blocks are getting in the way here. Take the arms overhead and bring the legs up. Roll up. Take a boat pose. And roll down. Use your abdomen. See, I'm making my way through Ardha Navasana without really committing to Ardha Navasana. I bring the arms up overhead. Bring the legs up. Sacrum goes way up here. Goes way up, not even touching the floor. Roll up. Legs may bend a little bit. And roll down. Try to make that roll down as smooth as you can. It's hard. You're going to find a spot where, you know, you're like, oh, a big chunk of you goes down toward the floor, right? Whereas certain parts of your spine you're going to find are a little bit more fluid. And of course the abdominal strength there. Inhale, legs up, roll up. And roll down. Nice and slow. Oh, there we go. Okay. And then you'll bend your legs and come over to the side. Okay. I'm going to get my blocks for what's next. So, we are going back now to Supta Padangusthasana, but we are not using a belt. Get rid of your belt. Okay, so I'm back here on the floor again in Supta Padangusthasana, except with no belt. Be even on the sacrum. You can move the buttock flesh to the sides a little bit and go ahead and take your right leg up. If you'd like to bring the arms to the side, it can be helpful for a little bit of balance. Okay, engage the abdomen again. And then you're going to exhale. Bring the right leg out to the right. Try to keep your neck soft. Inhale, come up. Exhale to the right. As the leg goes to the right, now you don't have your arm helping you. This really needs to kick in. The abs need to kick in, especially over on this left side. Can you feel that? On the left side, just inside the pelvic rim here. Inhale, come up. Bring the leg down. Okay? Some of you may get the gripping in the front of the thigh. I know that. I just started to engage there too. So the more you use your abs, inhale, come up with your left leg. The more you use your abs, the more you press down with your, it's your right heel now, the less gripping is going to happen up in the hip flexors here. The hip flexors are working. You know, that's what brings your leg up. But try not to overwork. Exhale to the side as the abdomen goes to the right. Throat and neck soft, jaw soft, eyes soft. Maintain your breath. Inhale, come up. Exhale to the side again. Inhale, come up and bring that leg down. Rest once again, Supta Baddha Konasana. And you can brush, relax the muscles here by just doing this releasing of the skin. It helps to release underneath the skin, the fascia, the muscles. Okay, so you get a little bit more soft there. And then bring your legs up. Roll to your side. You're going to get your blocks. Okay, and I'll show you this from the side to begin with so you can see. And then I'll probably turn myself around again so I can do both sides. All right. We're upping things a little bit here, literally. I have 2 blocks. You could have a stack of books if you still don't have blocks. And what I do is I come all the way up. Obviously, if you cannot make it up onto tall blocks like this, you would do medium height. Okay? You would do medium height. But you really, what's important is make sure that these blocks are not digging into your lumbar spine. You want the blocks right on the sacrum. Okay? So that's how that looks. And if you can't get up to medium blocks, then you go there. You go on flat blocks. But it's important to have two so that there's more support underneath you. Okay, so now that you saw that, and going up. And so for now, we're in Chatushpadasana, okay, or Setubandha, whatever you want to call it, up on the blocks here. I tuck the shoulders underneath a bit, okay, and now you might really feel this, that basin effect, and especially the lower abdomen, okay. Come to that same awareness of what's going on in the muscles just inside your pelvic bones here. Okay, and then I'm going to carefully, once you feel even, you may have to adjust yourself a little bit, I carefully bring the knees in toward the chest, the feet are together. Now it becomes really important to press down, to not choke yourself with your t-shirt, to press down with the tailbone. If you don't press down with the tailbone, you will feel the corner of these blocks digging into you, and that does not feel pleasant. So imagine that your sacrum is just a flat plate. It's not, but it's a flat plate, and you want all of it on the blocks, especially down by the tailbone. Okay? Keep that and bring your legs up. Those of you with tight hamstrings, you may not make it with straight legs up that far, okay? You can keep the legs bent, and of course, just do what you can. If you'd like to hold on to the sides of the mat for a little security, you can do that. Okay, so now essentially we're in Viparita Karani. Okay, legs are up, chest is lifted. Bend your legs, keeping them together, and come down. Come on up, straighten, and come down. Come on up, straighten. Now you're going to, with straight legs, come down so that the legs are parallel. Oh, I'm cheating by accident. I landed on my windowsill. I didn't intend for that. And then inhale, come up. Make sure you're using your abdominal muscles and that you're not just relying on your back muscles. Okay, go easy with this. You don't have to go all the way to parallel to the floor if it causes the back muscles to kick in and not be happy. Breathe, come back up. Work on that stabilization of your sacrum. Now, you're keeping your right leg up where it is. Just take the left leg down. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, right leg down. It's not going all the way to the floor. You probably can't see that. But I'm just going to where my leg is parallel with the blocks. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, left leg down. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, right leg down. Inhale, up. Bend your legs. You can separate the knees a little bit, the feet a little bit, and take a break. Okay. Now, if you jostled around a little bit, you can organize yourself again. Bring the legs up. Once again. Okay, now I'm going to keep my left leg where it is. And I'm going to turn the right leg out into that same position that you were in before when you did Jatra Parvartanasana. Remember the 2-leg twist? So now I have the angle of my toes to follow to the side. You're not going to get far. I don't want you to fall off your blocks. And now you really have to press down the left side of the sacrum. Inhale, bring that leg up. Now turn your left leg out to the side. Leave the right leg where it is. Exhale. You got to push out a little bit with your right leg in order to keep your balance. Try to relax your neck. Inhale, come up. Do that again. Right leg turns out to the side. Inhale, come up. Left leg to the side. Kind of like doing Parshvayakapada in shoulder stand, right? Inhale, come up. Bend your legs, separate the feet, and bring your feet to the floor. Take a little break here. And then lift up, come off of your blocks, untuck your shoulders, straighten your legs out here, just be flat for a moment. And then again, Supta Baddha Konasana. Relax your thighs, relax the abdomen. Take a few breaths. Okay, and now we're going to do the other version of Jatra Parvartanasana, the one that focuses more on getting a spinal twist rather than the abdominal work. Okay, so it's a little bit softer in a way. So I bring my knees toward my chest, and now I'm letting the legs go all the way down to the floor. I use my right hand to help get a little bit more twist. And if you'd like to get a little more out of your neck, you turn your head over the extended arm. And I'm not being as vigilant as I was with this arm. Okay, this is more about just releasing in the lower back than anything. And just breathe. You can even let your feet cross. Feel how the breath moves you. And then with your right hand, you can straighten out your head again. With your right hand, push your legs back up so you're not using your abs as much. And we'll go to the other side. Okay, so knees are over to the left. I'm looking out toward the right hand. This is a much softer pose. And I'm just letting the breath open the lower back. And then slip that left hand underneath you. Push yourself up and go ahead and make some circles or do some rocking from side to side. I'm on the squeaky spot, one of the squeaky spots in my floor. You can let your head move with you. And then roll to your side. And you can come into child's pose or Adho Mukha Virasana. Okay, legs are just a little bit apart. Head resting on the floor or a block if you need. And the arms are forward. Breathe into the back body. And then come into downward dog. If you tend to do plank poses instead of downward dog, you know who you are, don't do plank here. Just come into Uttanasana. It's enough with the abs. And come down, back to child's pose. Breathe into that sacral area that we were working with. Broaden the sacrum. Imagine the pelvic bones in the back broadening. Back to downward dog. Back to child's pose. One more downward dog. Press your heels down and imagine you're moving the thighs away from each other. And then come to hands and knees. Just gonna tuck in a little bit here. Come to hands and knees. And what you're going to do is I just curve over to the side. So I'm making my body into like a little comma almost. My left side is short. I'm looking at my left hip. My right hip is going out to the side. And now I'm doing the opposite. Curve over to the right. Now I'm opening up the left side. Look at your left hip again. Open the right side. And second side. Come back to center. Come up to your fingertips. Make a nice big dome sort of shape, tucking the tailbone underneath. And then come to neutral. Little tiny back bend in the upper back. Back to your dome shape. Back to neutral. I'm moving my fingers with this. When I come up to this dome shape, I come up onto my fingertips. When I go back to neutral, palms are on the floor. And then what you can do is just go back and forth, incorporating all of those movements. We've done this before. I know I have video of this. The elbows, you're letting the elbows bend a little bit where needed. Okay, making almost little semicircles. There's no right or wrong to this. Let's move the spine. Okay, and then you'll make your way into a seated position. This time you can sit on your heels if you can do that. Otherwise, sitting with crossed legs again is fine. And we're going right back to where we started. Interlace your fingers, go up, draw the front ribs back, drop the chin toward the chest. Keep the elbows straight. Inhale, raise your head, lower your arms, and switch. Raise the arms up, drop down, inhale up, bring your hands down. So now what you can do is you lean back and I'm twisting to the right. So I'm sitting on my heels, twisting to the right. You can do this with legs crossed as well. Come up and lean back, twist to the left. Okay, come up to the right and up and to the left. center. This next thing is not for everybody. I fit into a short belt. Everybody's got different length belts, everybody's got different length legs, you know. So I'll show you, and either this works for you or it doesn't work for you. I have my legs crossed, the belt goes overhead, and I bring the belt to the front of the knees. The belt is down by my sacrum. It's not up on my lower back. Okay, if you have the tighter hips with the knees that like to stay up here, this doesn't work for you. Okay, so just sit with your legs crossed. Okay, so you're going here and give a little bit of support with your hands. Close your eyes. Keep the chest lifted. Another thing that you can do if the belt is not working for you is to sit up against a wall. And see that the sacrum is up against the wall. And just breathe. And then you're going to switch the cross in your legs. Okay. See that the belt hasn't ridden up. Okay, it's down by the sacrum. I lift my chest. Take a few breaths here. And then open your eyes. Bring your palms together. Namaste. Okay. If you'd like to take a Shavasana, do that. Shut off your device and take a Shavasana. Okay. I hope you can hear the birds chirping outside. I hope you guys have your windows opened a little bit. At least if you're here on Long Island. I don't know what it's like down in Florida. It's probably too hot to have your windows opened. Or out in Seattle. So hope you guys are well, and I'll see you soon.